Before we begin, I have a disclaimer to add. Originally, this commentary was supposed to come out sooner than before. However, a lot of stuff has been brought to light regarding 5 people. One of them was Keyboard Master. If you insist on learning more about what happened, I recommend these 2 videos from Doodle Tones to understand the context. As a result, me and many others cut ties with Keyboard Master as the actions that led them to being ousted from the SEC are truly reprehensible. I would also like to mention that because of that situation, me and River have officially disowned the trial Nina is covering. That being said, I'm still going through with covering the video to not only showcase what Nina might have missed, but to also explain how a lot of points they made are flawed. My role is to mainly lift off on the arguments in the video and how some of them were presented. Nothing more, nothing less. So with that clarification being made, let's dive in.
Previously on TV's channel.
Why is there flesh on me? Is this what teeth are? Why must I be cursed with such obscene features?
Well, I accidentally turned TV into a human.
Yeah, okay. Wait, aren't you already a human TV?
Wait, shit, turn me into a TV, turn me into a TV, turn me into a TV.
Did I just turn it into a TV? Literally?
Well, so much for Kagura's crimes getting pardoned, so...
I just wanted to play Miitopia on the TV that's compatible on Nintendo Switch!
And now, we continue. Okay, Kagura, this is the first time you committed murder. For God's sake.
It wasn't a murderer. I literally just turned River into an actual TV. I just wanted to play Miitopia.
Yeah, I don't think the judges would believe you. Thankfully, the prosecutor is willing to—
Let me guess. You want me to make a commentary on the material the prosecutor has, right?
Getting straight to the point, huh?
What if I don't want to make a commentary?
Do you want to be in jail for life?
Okay, fine. I'll do a commentary. What's the material?
I'll let the prosecutor speak. Good luck.
Kagura, you're so lucky I didn't die by turning into an actual TV. Oh, because remember when you, me, and Key made a try-up on X-Threads?
Yeah, what about it?
Well, apparently a new commentator named Nina covered our trial.
I'm sorry, who?
You're on your own on that one. Good luck figuring that out. Oh, and by the way, thanks for turning me into an actual TV, you amoeba.
Don't mention it. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce a fellow named Nina, a commentator who just joined this year. So for context, Sonic King made a vague spot shot by saying, "Unlike a certain someone I know, they aren't taught to make a living off of harassing someone." This led to another commentator, Keyboard Master, to make his own pot shot back at him, and he points out to 4 other people that XK comment was referred to. One of them included X-Threads, who would then make a response video defending himself from being labeled as harasser of Tony Sonic. Me, Key, and River would eventually make a trial on his response. And then Nina covered our trial as a quickie. And I have another thing to say with the first commentary. So with all that being said, let's dive in.
Should I really make my first commentary about someone's potshot? I'll be fine.
Top 10 famous last words before disaster. Part whatever. Whippin' peppers.
Just get in bed, Grandma.
Easy there, Wolfie. You haven't even bought me dinner yet.
Now for the most part, I think the tri-op is pretty good, from what I've seen. However, there were like 3 points from the tri-op that I found rather destructive, irrelevant, or just straight up wrong. Hence why I'm here. With that said, let's begin.
Spoilers, our point weren't destructive or irrelevant, but I'll get there when I get there.
And you dare use that word against me like we actually do this for a living. Which, trust me, we don't. the Birdman and just gives out criticism. Shadow Ruff is just a load of harmless jokes and some honest criticism, with showing clips of Efremomitator.
So to tackle the first part of what Expert said, since I'll leave the rest for TV and Kagura to cover, I just want to say this. If your main type of content that brings you attention is videos talking about one particular user on a constant basis, and is what attracts people to your channel, then by all means, you're making a living off of covering someone, since that's what gives your channel views, subscribers, and most importantly, attention. Money isn't everything when it comes to the phrase making a living. It's just a variable in the phrase and not the key component.
Key, please tell me you're joking. Please tell me this is a debate. Because this point is so destructive otherwise. First of all, you bring up money and have me wondering, what does money have to do with what Xfreds said? Since nowhere did Xfreds ever brought that up, as Xfreds was simply saying that they weren't making a living off of covering someone. Which, to be fair, you did argue that it's wrong, and I do agree to that, but bringing up money is irrelevant to this conversation.
You say that Key bringing up money had nothing to do with what Xfreds said, but the entire crux of this whole situation was the phrase making a living off of harassing someone Sonic King made. Which, on that note, let's take a look at the definition of making a living. To earn enough money to buy the things that you need. That would entail people wanting to make something for money that would last for life. Hence the saying, making a living. Sonic King was being vague about someone making a living off of harassing someone, thus making money in the process. Although, that actually makes Key's point really bad, since he's calling the phrase making a living variable and noting it as less important than it is, which, spoilers, is something you go on to explain, but I'll get to that later. Point is, you're literally getting on to Key's case for bringing up money when that is the entire cost of this entire situation. GG.
And then there's the next statement that you made, that money isn't everything when it comes to making a living, which... yeah, can I just say that your statement about money is a fucking lie? Money is necessary for obtaining the goods and services you need to survive. Money is a source of security and a means of achieving their goals and aspirations. It can be used to pay for basic necessities, such as food, housing, healthcare, luxuries, vacations, and so much more. So yeah, money is everything when it comes to the phrase, making a living, and saying otherwise is an unfortunate yikes on your end. Key, you have been in this community for more than 6 years now, which is way longer than me, so it's disappointing that you would say that.
Hold on. So you wonder why money is being brought up in this regard to making a living, only to then go into detail into how making the money is what making a living is. I'm genuinely wondering if I even need it here right now, since you are doing my commentary for me. I'm upset now. Actually no, that would actually get me out of jail quicker. Also, Nina, I want to ask, how are any of Key's points quote-unquote irrelevant or destructive, since you do realize that saying that someone is being destructive requires you to explain why what they're saying is off base, and last time I checked, you do nothing to build off that. You just say, this point is so destructive, and just leave it at that. Did you waste that elaboration on your board you shot in your foot? Because if so, then at that point, you're poisoning the well by calling the points destructive before the points were even shown. Lastly, can I just say how I don't like your statement of, you've been in this community for 6 years, since you're essentially implying that people can't make screw-ups or should know better when in terms of general presentation or argumentation, which, no, just no, that's not how any of the shit works, Nina. Just because you've been in a certain field for a good amount of time doesn't inherently mean you won't ever make simple flaws. Sure, it largely depends sometimes, but in situations where we make bad points, there's always room for growth. Also, this is another thing that I noticed, but you're being arrogant by acting like you know more than Key does when you are a newbie. How will you know him better if you just joined the community?
Which, by the way, your response video was pretty solid, and the points were legitimately fair. And then you had to pull this little accusation at the end of it just to make it even worse.
Make it worse how exactly? You don't really elaborate on how a single pot shot can make a situation worse. I can understand if it was like a subtweet or blatantly painted a target behind the back, but here, it's just a pot shot that didn't even last long.
Kagura, you were doing very well until you said that. The length of how long the potshot lasts is irrelevant. Xfreds could very much still find issue with Key's potshot no matter the length of that potshot, something he elaborates later on.
And trust me, I understand that the title says this is more of a comedic approach. I understand that. I have no problem with that. What my problem is what the joke was in the first place. There's a such thing as taking jokes way too far, and this is one of them.
Let me put it another way. This point practically amount to
Silly, you whopper. That's a Big Mac box.
Hey, that's not cool.
But the pot shot only lasted for like 5 seconds.
Does that matter? You're still forming a negative view of our restaurant.
Do you see how bringing up the length does nothing in this conversation?
Not gonna lie, you had me at the first part, as the length of the pot shot shouldn't matter if the pot shot itself is offensive. And yeah, my point regarding the length of the pot shot being short was dumb. So congrats Nina, you debunked my point successfully. Is what I would have said if it weren't for this.
If a singular joke that didn't even last 10 seconds is enough for you to call a video bad despite having a lot of solid points throughout the runtime, then I question where your priorities are.
So, let me see if I get this straight. When Key brings up the length of the pot shot against experts, you give him a pass. But when I do the same thing, suddenly it's a problem. And yes, I know why you skipped Key's pot shot and not mine, because you were focusing on the priorities aspect, if this text is anything to go by. But it still feels unfair to single me out for making what amounts to the same point Key made at the end of the day. You could have at the very least got into my case for repeating Key's point, but instead you got into my case for bringing up the length at all, despite the fact that Key does the same thing. If you would argue Key's point right before my point, your point would have a lot more ground to stand on, as Key is directly asking how the length of the bad section could hurt the video when there have been videos with good points tainted with bad sections of jokes before. And after that, Nina just gives the final thoughts and ends the commentary there. I'll get back to the final thoughts in my own final thoughts. If there was a singular word to describe this video, it would be the definition of commentary syndrome. When it comes to the arguments you made here, it felt like you weren't paying attention to what we were saying or what the other degrees were saying. Like you questioned why Key mentioned money, only to then contradict that statement by arguing that money is what making a living is about. But stuff like this is something to expect in the first commentary, so I won't hold that against you. That being said, my overall advice for you is to pay attention to not just what your targets are saying, but also to what you are saying yourself, since that can prevent you from making self-contradictory points. Ironically, this is similar to the advice you gave to us.
Key, TV, Kagura. Despite my tone of the commentary, I don't wish ill will towards you all, and as stated before, your tri-op is really good. Just, please pay attention more to what your target says and think about what you three are going to say before saying anything. Just saying.
Actually, you should just follow your own advice. Trust me, it will help you in the long run. I'll end this up on a sweet note. Nina, welcome to the SEC. We hope you enjoy your time here. I don't know if you plan on making more commentaries, but if you do, we wish you the best. Genuinely. Okay, Pigeon, I finished the commentary. Can I get out of jail now?
Very well, Kagura. All charges have been dropped, and you're free to go.
Finally! I'm home free! My crime has been pardoned! Again!
Good for you, man. Just never turn me to an actual TV again.
Oh, and one more thing. Ado Kagari is the cutest waifu ever, and anyone who says otherwise will lose their
Okay, but counter argument. Diana Cavendish. She is the definition of beauty. Have you seen how elegant she is? God, she's my favorite waifu.